Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, what we call our listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. We have a live show coming where we'll be there in person at Four Corners Brewery, April 8th, the day before Luka and the Lakers come back and play the Dallas Mavericks. Come hang out. It'll be like a therapy session, or it'll be just a rallying cry, or be something. We'll all be able to commiserate together. I'll be there. Isaac Harris will be there. Slightly biased in attendance.
Not all at once, guys. Not all at once.
And we'll have some other friends there probably as well. And it'll be a good time. Four Corners Brewery, 7 p.m., April 8th. Come join us. Come hang out. If you can come for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, we'll do a show. We'll maybe do some questions, and then we'll just hang out and talk and just hang out as Mavs fans and just be there with everybody. So come enjoy that April 8th, Four Corners Brewery. All right, Slightly. I want to get into Rick Welts' comments because I thought they were interesting. Rick Welts is the CEO of the Mavericks. He took over for Cint Marshall when she retired. And he got on the broadcast and was answering some questions from Followell and Devin Harris about a bunch of things. He talked about the trade. He talked about their project setting up courts in Mexico and how they want to be Mexico's team, which I thought was interesting. But he also talked about the new arena. And this has been a big topic of conversation in the news, in city council meetings, and all kinds of stuff. These are the quotes by Rick Welts. Specifically, he said, we're going to take everything we know about presenting the sport of basketball and basically put it into this new arena to make it state of the art and all that. We've started the process. We're engaged with the city. Our commitment is to find a home in Dallas. That's where we want to be. That's where the city wants them to be. We're going to pursue every possible option to make that happen. He also said, we need a new arena for the 2031-2032 season. I think, to me, that's the first time I've heard an actual deadline for the arena. We've heard this, amalgam, like arena is coming, the new arena, the Las Vegas Sands are going to build this resort and all this stuff. But I think that's the first time I've heard an actual date for it. And I had a bunch of people ask me, well, why? What's the deadline for? What does it need? The Mavericks do not own the AAC. It's not their arena. They're leasing it, and so are the Stars, and their lease ends in 2031. And so that's why they have this deadline to create this new arena. And Rick Welts said, he's like, we've got our work cut out for it. We're on the clock right now to do that. That is not a lot of time, he said, to get this done. He's already had meetings with, the Irving City Council and other places, and Dallas City Council, to try and figure out where this is going to be and how they can get it done. I'm kind of skeptical of the statement, our commitment is to find a home in Dallas. That's where we want to be, when the Las Vegas Sands group is in Irving doing all this stuff, trying to figure out how they're going to start their resort and all that. That's where I'm still kind of, all right, how does this all fit together? Because it seemed like it made sense as a cohesive, all right, we're going to do the arena, the resort, the casino, the club, whatever else they're going to put up there. And then there was a Irving City Council meeting recently where they cleared the way for Las Vegas Sands to build something up there. I guess just a resort, because the Las Vegas Sands withdrew part of the plans to get a casino and a nightclub because of all the backlash and all the talk there. And so I'm just sitting here as a Mavs fan, Slightly. Thoughts on an arena potentially going in Irving, and a new arena at all? Like, what are your thoughts when you hear the Mavs are going to get a new arena?
Well, that makes sense. 2031 would be about 30 years. It feels like the time frame usually for stadiums every 30 years or so. You sort of either move to a new building or do such expansive renovations on your previous building that it looks like a new building. So that's not that crazy to me. I don't know. Like
this arena.
Yes, this doesn't. I don't know. I expected this. I thought this. Admittedly, I thought this was kind of a known thing until I saw Twitter's reaction to this specific comment, that the lease runs up in 2031 and that this is when the new arena would go. From what Cuban said, that was a big reason he sold the team, was that he knew a new arena was coming and he wanted people who were better at the real estate side of things to take over the team. That was one of the things he said when he sold the team. I'm not buying for a second. You have to, a lot of this stuff's going to be PR talk. If the Sands want it to be a casino resort stadium, that's what it's going to be. I know that you said they're building a resort. It's not a casino now because of the backlash.
They withdrew the Sands. Like, they withdrew it, which to me, my thoughts.
What though? It's not legalized.
They had plans to, like, all right, it's going to be a casino and a nightclub, and then they withdrew that part of the plan. To me, I think you make it so that it can potentially house something like that, yes, right? Like, you leave a bunch of empty space in it somewhere. Then as soon as it gets legalized, as soon as they get it was Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor, as soon as they get him out of office there, then they figure out how to legalize gambling. Then they just do it all over again. But they do have to get approvals and zoning permits and like things like that. And there was a ton of people at that Irving City Council meeting where they didn't want that there. They didn't want to have that in their neighborhood and in their city. And that was interesting.
So the Texas legislators meeting in 2025. They meet every 2 years. Gambling is not getting passed. It has overwhelming support amongst voters, like 70% amongst Texan voters. It's going to happen. The problem is Governor Lieutenant Dan Patrick does not want it to happen. So that's why it doesn't happen. He's gone after 2025. It's not happening in this session.
This is not the Sports Center guy, Dan Patrick, by the way.
No, yes. I know.
When I first moved here, I was really confused. I was like, wait, what
It's confused me as well. It's a different person. But yes, it's not happening this session, this legislative session.
Yeah.
So yeah, get all of the you need PR points, get all the PR points you can. Guys, we're not doing the casino anymore. Like, well, all right, our bad. We're not going to do the casino.
Take it out of the plan.
Yeah. 2027 comes around, new guy. And by the way, the Sands, the Adelsons, they've been pouring in tens of millions of dollars into lobbying for gambling to be legalized.
It's $100 million, wasn't it?
It's been millions upon millions. You'd have to sit down and calculate all the different ones. And it dates back to years before they bought the team. So it's just been in motion for them. And so when 2037 comes around, whatever politician they've paid X amount of millions of dollars and given millions of dollars to in donations.
Slightly biased for Lieutenant Governor.
Hey, if you want to give me millions of dollars, look, anything's on the table. But no, and by the way, I think there's an age limit and I'm nowhere close to it. So
a minimum age, you mean?
A minimum age. I'm nowhere close to it. So 2027, I would look towards, hey guys, actually that casino, that resort that we're building, we are going to add the casino. And actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put the Mavs Stadium there as well. Like, that's what I would expect, honestly.
Does a new arena excite you? Because I saw a lot of people respond, hey, the AAC is fine. Like, it's a good arena. Stop gaslighting me that it's not a good arena. I've been to other arenas. There are better arenas.
I would say it's perfectly average.
It is fine. You're right. It's fine. It does what it does, but it's fine from the consumer's perspective, right? There's so many other things that go with an arena that have to do with how players interact with it. They just redid the locker room a couple years ago. That was a big deal. They need more space. They could have a practice facility in the arena. They could do all kinds of different stuff with it. Going to Chase Center in 2022 and seeing that arena and then seeing the Mavs arena, I was like, oh, this is different. Like it is different when you go to a state of the art arena and see something like that and see what they can do with it and see just how nice it can be. The different places that people can hang out in the arena, out of the arena, all that kind of stuff. Like, it is just different. So I do think that it makes, like you said, 30 years, it makes sense that they would do a new arena. I thought they would do it under Cuban, even if he didn't sell the team when the lease came up. Like, that was what was the rumors back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for an arena. Like, it's always fun building a new arena. Every time a new arena gets built, it feels like it's the newest one is the coolest one. So that'll be fun if it's in a casino resort. I mean, that's cool to me too. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's inevitable that stuff's going to happen. So, yeah.
Is it just because I'm in it, and is it just because we had the trade and all the backlash for it? But has this seemed more contentious than even like the Cowboys moving to Arlington?
Well,
or am I forgetting how bad that was?
So I'm an Arlington hater. And I hate this city strongly, right? So them being in Arlington is a shame to me. The Rangers had always been there, but I hate the fact that they're there because it's such a nightmare getting to. The fact that American Airlines Center is just in the heart of downtown Dallas, not in the heart of downtown Dallas, but it's in it, right? You got a dart,
essentially,
right? You got a dart station that drops you off right there. That's incredibly rare in the city. So yeah, I love that aspect of it. Irving is close enough, in my opinion. I don't know where the exact location is that they're building that at, but isn't it like 10, 15 minutes away?
The spot where they own land was where old Cowboy Stadium was. That was the.
How far away is that from downtown? I'm bad at that stuff sometimes.
Irving is like right up right up like 35, right? It's like not even that long. It's like 15 minutes.
I would prefer it to be in the middle of downtown, truthfully.
Sure.
But I get how this stuff goes. I mean, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of, there's going to be taxpayer money. How much money should the taxpayers be throwing in? Like, it's going to get ugly and, whatever.
And that's the thing about our commitment is to find a home in Dallas. That's where we want to be. Okay. Well, show me the money. Right? Like where's the money coming from, and where's the land, and it's probably
That's
so much
PR
cheaper
talk.
to build in Irving and all that, right? Like,
right.
I think I even saw Fox 4 is building their new like place. They're leaving downtown and going to Irving. Like they broke ground on that.
Well,
like
you'd also have to factor in, if you are bringing a casino resort, a city will probably pay you to build that straight up, because that's going to bring in a ton of money. So if you're adding a stadium onto that, I don't know, it becomes more the incentive for them to build the stadium with the casino resort it just feels so high that I think it's got to happen. Like, they're not just going to give that up.
Yeah, like that's the Yahtzee for them, right? Like when you all the dice line up, it's like that. They got to have that. They're going to keep rolling until they get it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.